welcome to Crafters Companion Craft Room. I'm really pleased to be here with a lovely, leisurely little chat where we can talk about our Harmony ink pads, the water reactive ink pads, and how fabulous they are. So if you watched me back on Create and Craft last week with our Harmony ink pad, was it a one-day wonder? It was a one-day wonder, I think. Yes, it was. I was only there for a day, so it must have been. What I promised was that I'd come back, take some time after that show for all of you people who might have got your ink pads during that event and show you how to use them and how to get the best out of them without all those annoying presenters interrupting every 2 minutes to give us all of the important information that you need when you're buying from a shopping channel. So you've just got me in the craft room with lots of demonstrations already prepared, my ink pads, my water, my kitchenware, my stamps, and all we're going to do is have a lovely chat. However, there are some things that you need to know because of course with Crafters Companion we always like to give you a little bit of something extra. So if you have a look at the little link at the bottom there, what you'll see is that there's a link through to my website for all of my favourites. And these are all of my favourite tools and ink pads and things that you need to be able to create all of the fabulous samples that you're going to see me working with over the course of the next hour and a half, something like that. Okay, so do that. Now then, if you follow through that link and leave us your details, what we're going to do is email out a link to some exclusive tutorials for you, so you'll be able to see those and you won't have to worry about finding this live time and again. You'll just have that link to constantly go back to when you're working with your ink pads and you want to get the best out of them. So that would be some exclusive content for you. And then we're also going to send you a little voucher that you can use off your next purchase, and it'll be a good one. So definitely leave your details. So we're going to watch along, I'm going to craft along, get sharing this, and you know, the more people that are watching, the more people are going to get their 20% discount, the more people that are going to be able to see all of that exclusive content and see the different things that I'm going to be showing you here. But this today is really about taking our time and learning about Harmony ink pads. So let's get on with the job, but don't forget that little link down the bottom there. I can see lots of you joining me, which is brilliant. And what I have got is my iPad here with me. It's always at hand. And I'm going to be checking back regularly, looking to see what you're saying, looking to see what you're doing, and answering your questions. So if I'm doing a demonstration and you wonder what it is that I've done or how I would do it again or how you would do it differently, just ask all of your questions and I'll answer them as we're going along. So we'll do lots of interaction as well. And actually, if you just want to chat about your grandchildren or what kind of day you're having, what you're having for your tea, I'm really interested in that information too, because it's just going to have a nice time. It's just friends together in the craft room doing a little bit of crafty stuff. So first things first, Harmony ink pads. What are they and what do they do? So I'm just going to pick my three. I've got a couple of favourite sets in this range. One of them is the purple collection. So you can see here that Harmony ink pads are 3 ink pads which come in a light, a medium and a dark colour. Now you've got a very pastel, a bright and a dark in each of the colour collections. And if we just have a look here at my little board, what you'll be able to see there is what I'm meaning about a colour range with 3 different colours to give you a look and feel. So you can see here, for example, with the green collection there, the verdant greens, you've got a pastel, a medium and a dark colour, which gives you that lovely ombre. You've got the same with your pinks down here. You can see you've got that lovely pastel, the medium and the darker pink, which gives you that lovely ombre. If I just move that to the back and show you this collection, you can see it follows through with every single one of those sets. So you've got a pastel, a medium and a dark, together gives you that lovely ombre colour. Now, you can use them like that just as they were designed, and that gives you your ombres. That is why I put them together in those sets of 3, because it's really important to have 3 shades to be able to get that effect. But there are many other ways you can use them, and I've got lots of demonstrations here that we're going to try and get through in this hour and a half to give you lots and lots of hints, tips, techniques, and just ideas for how you can use them once you've got them home. But all of these ideas are very quick and very easy. So I've got my first 3 ink pads here. I've got my light, my medium and my dark. So I'm going to take the lids off and then we're going to get a little bit of card and start crafting. So now then, I've got my little ink pad things here and I'm going to ask my crafty fairy if she can get me some more squares because I'm going to be using quite a lot and I think I've only got a couple in my tray here. I can open this new one, which isn't necessary, but I'm going to do it. And we're going to get some new squares because I'm going to need quite a few. I'm going to be using so many different colours. And what I like to do is have a different pad per, here she is. Oh, she's coming in. Oh, she knocked the light. Hey, she's so delicate. Honestly, she's great. Wait till you see her in the flesh. Thank you very much, Crafty Fairy. That's fabulous. She's got an amazing tiara, a wand, and some wonderful sparkly pink glittery crafter's wings. And when we take our photograph and show you, you're going to be amazed because she is gorgeous. Right, so I've got my lovely little packet of oblongs here. We're very delicately passed in by my lovely little fairy there. We can continue using them, and we're going to have some fun. And you know what? We've got all of the gang in the studio, in the craft room here with us today. There's me, there's our lovely Johnny, and there's Crafty Fairy. And we're just going to take the mickey out of each other. We're going to have a joke with you. We're just going to make it fun, because that's what crafting's all about at the end of the day, is it not? And we're going to learn some stuff to boot. Right, so this is what we're going to have a look at. We're going to look at making an ombre like this with those 3 purple ink pads. And you can see they go from the light all the way through the medium and into that dark colour. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do that, and then some examples with some other colours as well. So that's what we're going to have a look at. Now, I've got ready stamped, because I'm organised in that fashion. And well, I think I have anyway. And you don't want to watch all the yes, there it is, ready stamped. And you don't want to watch all the boring stuff. You want to see the good stuff, don't you? So I've got my little oblong, and I'm going in with my light colour first. Now, what I could have done with, for the delicate Crafty Fairy, is a Teflon mat. But it's not the end of the world if she can't find one. I just don't like to say her sitting down. She's sitting down, she's not being productive, is she? Your glass mat works in just as good a way. So all I'm doing is tapping into my lightest colour of the purple, and then what you can see here is I'm just rubbing that colour on, and it's quick. I'm going to bring that down so I'm not reaching over and you can see it happening. There you go. And I'm just rubbing that on, and the colour is applying to the cardstock really easily and effortlessly. Now, what you'll notice is that I'm not having to say to you, take a run up to that. And I'm just reaching out. Here we go. Look, Teflon mat coming in on the right hand side. Marvellous. Thank you very much, Crafty Fairy. I'm going to lift this up. Glass mat works. Your craft mat, which surprisingly is in my favourites, on that little link at the bottom of the screen there, that this makes just life easier for clean up. I love it. Right, let's just get that down. Get that down there. Lift the glass up. Lift the ink pad up. There we are. We're all sorted. Lovely. Now, when I'm dipping my foam applicator into this, what I'm not having to do is what you will have seen us do on many different occasions when we've been doing ink techniques. I'm not saying keep your foam pad parallel, start moving before you get onto your bit of card, keep going fast, take a run up, running up, and we're on the card with it. No, we're not like Victoria Wood with Hailey Bailey today. What we're doing is saying dip it in, so whack it in. This is a really technical technique, guys. Whack it in, whack it on, and your ink will just blend, and it will blend smoothly and seamlessly and effortlessly for you. And even if you get your ink pad on there, look, and get a little mark, you can still take it in and blend it out. That's the difference that we've done with this formulation for you, to make it really easy for you to work with them. It could not, I promise you, could not be more simple. And if you've struggled with ink pad techniques before, if you've not been able to do this and you've been very, very frustrated by it, please just try it for yourself with a couple of these sets of ink pads, because I am 100% confident that you will get amazing results. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of our ladies watching, and our ladies are our Crafters Companion followers who are with us all the time. A number of you will have been at Craftaganza this year in November, and you will have done the ink pad workshop with me. Ladies, if you're watching, can I encourage you to leave comments here and let all the other ladies and gents watching know how easy these are to use and how fabulous your experience was at that workshop. Because if they don't believe me, they will believe you. And I think that's really important for everybody as well, to get consumer testimonial. So you know that you're getting the best, because crafters like yourself are also saying that they get brilliant results with them. So now you can see I'm building up my middle colour, and I've turned it round, so I'm holding it still with my lightest area here with a piece of kitchen roll, and that's just because I get very warm hands. When I get very warm hands, when I hold my card still with it, then what happens is I get little white finger marks on there. Now, we've had a little question from Tom. Thank you very much, Tom. Tom wants to know what kind of cardstock am I using. Tom, I'm using watercolour card. It is always the very best to use with anything water-based. Now, these Harmony inks that we're using here are our water reactive blendable ink pads. So the clue is in the title there with the word water. So what you'll want is watercolour card. And with watercolour card, you're going to get this really easy, effortless blend. Don't worry about this. I'm going to deal with this in a second. So I'm moving my little bit of card, my little bit of kitchen roll up there just to keep it still. And then what I'm doing is going into my darkest colour. And notice what I have done is just keep one sponge for all three colours. I'm going to show you how to clean that as well in a second when I get my spritzer bottle. And I'm going with my darkest colour and just bringing that in at the top here now, and I'm starting to build up my ombre, and I can get some really fabulous intense colour down really quite quickly and easily. And look how easy it is, you can see that there, to blend that intense dark colour into the lightest colour below it. It really could not be any easier for you, and it's the formulation of the ink pads that make it this easy. It isn't by accident. It's definitely by design. We worked on the formulation. I worked on the formulation of these ink pads for an awful long time and tested many manufacturers before I settled on a manufacturer who could do what I wanted, which was create me a range of blendable ink pads that allows me to get that kind of ombre result without any effort at all. Now what I've got down here is a little bit of a, you can see a little bit of a join between the two colours, and I just want to smooth that out a little bit. So I'm going back to the other side of my foam, I'm picking up my lightest ink a little bit again, and now what I'm going to do is just smooth that out between the medium colour and the light colour. Look how that happens magically in front of your eyes. It just diffuses it. It could not be more simple. And then what I've got is that lovely transition from the light through the medium and to the dark to get that lovely three-tone blend with your ink pads as they come to you in those collections of three. Right, so that's not all we can do. What we can do now is take a small paintbrush, so just one of our little ones, just to, and these paintbrushes are also in my collection, my little link at the bottom of the screen here, so you can see what my favourites are. Royal Langnickel paintbrushes are definitely going to be in there. It's just below here, you'll be able to see it. And I'm just going to dampen that. Now, we've got another question incoming from the left, from the Crafty Fairy. Teresa, how do you let the stamped image dry? How long do you let the stamped image dry before you, before you put the ink over the top? Teresa, let me tell you about that. If you're using our Finesse, which I can't see here, but our Finesse ink pads, I could really do with some Finesse waterproof ones. Thank you, Crafty Fairy lady, that's wonderful. With our Finesse ink pads, which are waterproof, here they are, there we are, there it is. You have 0 drying time. Let me say that again, 0 drying time. And I'm going to show you that, I'll show you that very next, I promise you. So you can see that I speaketh the trutheth, because it really does work. So if you're using our Finesse waterproof ink pads, 0. If you're using another manufacturer, blast it with a heat gun and then you'll be okay. But I'm going to show you ours, so top tip, get ours. Right, so now I'm taking my, I'm making everybody laugh, did you hear? I can't help it. It's just comes naturally, not. So I'm just dampening my paintbrush there and taking off the majority of the water. So I'm just touching it to a piece of kitchen towel, the wet brush, and that takes off the majority. And what I'm going to do is just dab on here some moisture onto my blended background. I can feel a sneeze coming, guys. Oh, excuse me. And then I'm going to choose where I would like to faux bleach it. So where I would like this design to be a little bit lighter. So you can see I'm just choosing there. I've got the toadstool. I'm going to do it on her wings a little bit. Now when you put the water on here to faux bleach for a result, effect like this, you want to pool the water on. The more water, the more impressive the faux bleached result will be, because what the water does is suck, it's like a sponge action, it sucks the ink out of the card and into the water, which when you then dab it with a piece of kitchen roll, picks all of the surplus ink up and reveals the white card beneath. That's what's going to happen. So I'm just going to leave that to react for a little while. So the longer you leave it, the more intense the result will be. Then you take your bit of kitchen towel and you dab it up. And you can see there how really impressive, quick and easy it is to get that lovely faux bleach result. If I wanted a little bit more, I can just now go in with a little bit more water and I can keep building that up. So keep taking in some water, leave it for a little bit longer, dab it up with some kitchen towel, and you can see every time I do that, that result gets a little bit more intense, and it's really, really easy to do. Really easy. Now if you wanted some texture in the background with that, you could also just splash some water in, or you could put in some highlights, just some hills here, so it's hitting the ground to build that scene up, and then faux bleach that out. So you see I'm able to start putting in some ground there where the light's hitting. Oh, Carolyn wants to know, is it best to stamp first then do the blend? Carolyn, whatever you feel comfortable with. You can either stamp as I've done and then do the blend, especially if you're using our Finesse waterproof ink pads, because they will not budge at all when you apply your Harmony and all of the water. If you're using a different manufacturer's ink pad for that, might be better to do your blend first and then stamp your image on top so that you don't get the risk of smudging. If you're worried about that, and I always prefer the stamped image down first because I can see where I'm applying my colour then. I can see where the ground will be, where the mid ground will be and where the dark will be. I like that image in there first. Then definitely do get our Finesse waterproof ink pads. That's really, really important. I'm going to show you how that works very easily in a second. Okay, so now, Shunta asks, can you use a Harmony and a quick dry together? Yes, you can, Shunta. I see what you're saying. So will our new quick dry ink pads work in Harmony with the Harmony Water Reactive? Yes, they will, because all of the colours in the Harmony Water Reactive and the quick dry ink pads that we've just launched are the same. So it gives you some beautiful layering and some lovely building of techniques in there. It would be wonderful. And in fact, actually, if I can spot my quick dry in here somewhere, then what I will do later in this hour and a half is show you how that works, Shunta. So hang in there, share if you think your friends would like to know. Don't forget we've got that little link at the bottom there which gives you access to exclusive content. So follow the link, fill it in, gives you access to exclusive content for all of your tutorials, and then also once you've filled in your details, you're going to get a voucher with a percentage off your next purchase, and it'll be a good percentage. It won't be 2%, let's put it that way, because we're kind here at Crafter's Companion. So let all of your friends know about that as well. My poor crafty fairy just doesn't know where she's at today. So now I've got my quick dry ink pads coming in on the left, which is marvellous. Thank you very much. And I'll be able to reach over and get them in a second. Shouldn't stay around, and I'm going to show you how that works a little bit later on. Okay, so now there you see what I've done is that wonderful, turn it round, there we go. That wonderful 3-colour blend there with our purple ink pads with a little bit of faux bleaching, and when you mat and lay that up and do yourself a little inked background as well with an embossing folder, that's what it looks like. All this is a little bit of white gesso just to make that white stand out a little bit more. And on this one what I've done is take the lightest colour a little bit higher, where this one I've left it a little bit lower, and then put some faux hills in the back for the light hitting it. Looks great, does it not? Different colour, so you can see same design in a different colour, looks gorgeous. And that's with the 3 turquoise blends, and then you can see here with the 3 yellow blends. So very different look, same image, but if you're batch making cards and if you're selling them at fairs or anything like that, having a whole little collection like this in all of the 12 different colour families, how wonderful will that look on a stand? While we talk about that, if you're using Harmony ink pads, if you're using Crafter's Companion stamps, full angel policy, you can make and sell as many as you like. Okay, so that's what you're going to be able to do with just a basic 3-colour ombre blend, which is fabulous, is it not? Now we're going to have a look at how to blend several different colours together. Now then, I've got a little image ready here, but what I'm going to do is stamp myself a new piece for, I think it was Shunta who wanted to know that, or the lady before her. I can't remember, I apologise. Caroline needed to know how to stamp the image. That was my crafty fairy just shouting the name out there. Thank you very much, crafty fairy. Where would I be without her? That's what I would like to say. Where would I be without her? Right, let's get a little image here. I'm going to have a butterfly on a rocker block. Oh, that's stick away. That's not what I want. Let's clean that off. You don't want any stick away on there. When you're sticking it, you want your stick and spray. So I'll get my stick and spray on. And notice that I'm not careful about my rocker block there. I just spray it all over because you know what? It doesn't matter because the stamp's going on there anyway. So it's absolutely fine. Now then, slippy. So I'm just going to have to clean this off. So that was my stick away, which is getting all the gunk off from previous applications. Let's clean that again. Let's get a bit more stick and spray on there. That was a rookie error, was it not? But you know what? At least you've seen what you would do if you have made that mistake at home. We all make mistakes. All of my best crafty experiences usually end up from a mistake. And I'm normally sticking a butterfly on it, which is what I'm about to do now. Okay, so I've got my finessing pads here. Let's go with the rustic brown. And I've got some water. So what I'm just going to do is ink up my butterfly with my finesse ink pad, and this is my finesse waterproof. So I'm inking that up. Lovely. And then I'm going to stamp that down. I think the butterfly might be bigger than the card, but it doesn't matter for now for what I'm going to be doing. So stamping that down and then immediately pouring a big lot of water on there. Now, what you'll be able to see is that that ink is not budging at all. It is going absolutely nowhere. So I stamped it and then I poured half a pot of water on it. Now I'm going to soak up this water. And you can see my kitchen roll is pretty well saturated because it's gone transparent. So you can see how much water I had on there. When I peel this back, no brown image left at all. No budging of the image I've stamped. That's how quickly, after you've stamped your image, when you're doing your cards like this, you can start to apply your Harmony ink over the top, do all of your water techniques and be confident that your image will not budge. I would only be confident for you to do that with your Harmony water, with your finesse, I beg your pardon, waterproof ink pad. I wouldn't recommend that with any others. But certainly with our ink pad because I know I've manufactured it to do that. All right, so that's for Caroline, I think it was. All right, Caroline, there you go. Shunta, we're going to answer your question later on in the live about layering up the different colours between the quick dry and the Harmony ink pads. All right, so next little technique, let's just clean that up. I will get through a load of kitchen roll, so you will need a nice roll of that at home when you're working as well. Right, let's get a bit of, oh, have I got one ready? Let's see over here. Yes, I have. I've got one ready. We'll use this one. Now then. What I can do is use several different colours together. And if I just bring you to this board, I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And then I'm going to show you the results. So with this board, what we've done with the purple collection is create this ombre with the purple collection using the light, the medium and the dark colour. What I'm able to do is get different looks of a lovely pastel, a bright pop art and a grungy look by mixing colours between the different families but sticking to an intensity. So what I mean by sticking to an intensity is always using the lightest colour, always using the middle colour or always using the darkest colour. If you do that, what you will end up with are things like this. So this one is using all of the lightest colours, which you can see there with the light lemon, the light lilac and the light blue. Or we can go with the middle colours, which gives you a much more vibrant look. You can see there the comparison between the two. You've got the bright colours, and on here we've got the pink, the blue and the yellow. Or you can go with the darkest colours across a family, and you can get a much more grungy look. And here you can see we've gone with the pink, the purple and the yellow to get that really lovely, more grungy look. So depending on whether you like grungy, whether you like bright or whether you like pastel, you can start to combine the colours across the different families but sticking to the same intensity, and that's the sort of easy result you would get. All right, so let's look at how we would do that. So I'm going to keep, I think I'm going to keep the purple because I quite like that. I'm going to get the, Shall I get the orange? Should we do the same colour as that grungy one there? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's get that one. So we're going to have Chinese red and purple. And what was the other colour? Let's have a quick look-ski. Oh, it was the yellow. Let's do that. So let's go with that one, which I think is honey pot. Let's grab honey pot. It is. So I've got honey pot, Chinese red and damson wine. And they're my darkest colours. So just as I did before, and because I've got a purple applicator on here already, I'm going to start with the purple. Excuse me, I'm going to start with the purple and pop that down first before I change my applicator over. And then I'm going to show you how to clean your applicators. So as I did before, I'm going to grab a bit of kitchen roll just to protect my fingers and also to stop me from picking up colour when my fingers get warm. And I'm dipping my applicator in to the purple now, into damson wine, and I'm going to add that colour just really randomly on my piece of cardstock. So I've got the purple coming in here, and look how intense and beautiful that colour builds up really quickly over a large area. If you've tried this before with other types of blendable ink pads, you will absolutely know that you'll have been on for 5 minutes trying to get that to happen and layer up all the colour, because you don't have the saturation and the smooth quality of blend that we've built into these ink pads to be very different to any other ink pad out there. They are most definitely not the same as other ink pads out there. They're very, very different. So that's the purple, and I'm going to have a little bit of purple over in this corner. I always like to balance it because I'm not very good at not doing symmetry. And my mantelpiece has to have exact same things on the left and on the right. I can't do things if they're not balanced and if they're not correct. And then if somebody moves something, I have to go and put it back. I even find myself rearranging things, like let's say I'm going to Next or Marks and Spencer's and they've done a little display and they've got it all at a quirky angle. I'll have to correct it as I'm walking around the shop, and that's how bad I am. I just can't live with it. Right, so the purple one's coming off, letting all my little secrets out now. Don't tell anybody. There's nobody watching, nobody listening, is there? It's just between me and you. Nobody else knows. Picking up my yellow one now. And what I want to do is have some light illuminating from this little lamp in the corner here for this arrangement that I'm doing. So I'm going to bring the yellow from the honey pot with a new applicator into this corner here and start to build that colour up. So just, let me move it out of the way so I'm not reaching over it so you can see. There we go. So I'm getting the yellow there onto my applicator, and then I'm building it up in this corner. You can see that's really easy to do too. And then I'm going to let the glow come around her face and hair. So I'm bringing the colour over the purple, and it will just blend in and give me another shade of that lovely purple, bringing the two together. You see how that's blending in beautifully there, not really having to do anything with it. I'm letting it come over her face. So she's got a little glow from where she's reading, and actually we're going to have a little bit on this lamp up here as well. I'm going to deal with that in a second. You'll see what I do with that. Okay, so building up the yellow and then a little bit more down here for a little ethereal glow. So I said I was being random, but already I'm not being random, as you can see, because random and me don't always go hand in hand. So I'm just popping that on there, and then I'm going to change my applicator again, and I'm going to take some of my red and apply that randomly, or attempt to do it randomly, on the rest of the card. And I'm always using my kitchen towel so that I'm not picking up with my warm hands bits of ink and leaving little marks behind. Bring it in. Now, these inks have been developed to give you this effortless smooth blend, and also to be able to work on a really large piece of card like this, which is probably 7.5 by 7.5, work on a really large piece of card really quickly. And what you'll be able to see as well is where the red is overlapping on the yellow, I'm getting a lovely orange tone. That was really easy to do. And where it's overlapping here with the purple, I'm getting more of a grey colour, but the two are blending lovely together. You can just pick any of these colours up and start applying them and be confident that you're going to get a really, really lovely result. So I'm bringing that red all the way down there. Here we go. Leave that like that. Actually, I'd like that a little bit more intense just around here. So let's build that up. Lovely. Oh, look, isn't that lovely? There, so we're starting to get a real glow. Oh, Tracy's asking, do these inks work on Nina card? You won't get the lovely soft blend that I'm getting here, Tracy, with a Nina card. The card will grab it a little bit more because Nina card is made for alcohol markers, and I've got another one of these Facebook Live education sessions for you next week on tri-blend markers, and on that show, on that little crafty get together, you're going to see me talking about Nina card all the time. So while I'm talking about Harmony water reactive ink pads, I'm going to talk about watercolour card because this is the sort of result you're going to be able to get. When I do the show on the tri-blend markers next week, you'll hear me talking about Nina card because that's the correct card for those. I can't tell you enough, please never underestimate how important it is for the right card with the right ink pad. That will make as much of a difference to the results you're getting as the ink pad itself. So always use the right card. Now, Jennifer wants to know, on the stamped images that are lighter, are you using a lighter finesse or just not inking as much? I'm using a lighter finesse. So my finesse ink pads come in many different colours. You've got a Noir black, and then you've got a Pebble, which is a warm brown. Let me turn that around so you can see it there. There we go. You've got a Pebble, which is a warm brown. You've got Flagstone, which is a warm brown, a warm grey. Pebble, which is a warm grey. Flagstone, which is a cool grey. And then you've got rustic brown in there as well. Okay, and your Noir black. So they're the 4 different colours you can get. Oh, Kelly, all the questions. I love all the questions. This is fantastic. Kelly, when using stencils, do you use Harmony or Quick Dry, or can you use both? You can use both. And actually, I'm probably going to show you that during the course of this hour and a half. So stay with us, Kelly. You'll see that happening. So you see here, there, I've been building up the lovely colours as I go along. I think I could do with a little bit more purple in places. I'm feeling I'm lacking the purple. So I'm going to pick up my purple applicator. And then I'm going to just add a little bit up here because I'm needing to balance it out a little bit more. And I actually want a little vignette all around the outside. So I want to just darker a little bit at the edges. So you can see how I'm able to do that. And I'm going to do the same down here. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is faux bleach this a little bit as well, exactly as I did with the fairies. So notice how I've left her face lighter, so it looks like the light is coming up on her face. I haven't gone in there with my ink, but what I am going to do is go into this light bulb with my water, and I'm going to leave it sitting there for a few seconds, and then I'm going to faux bleach that out because I'm going to go back in with a spot colouring of some of the yellow to have that light bulb look like it's shining and illuminating her work. So you see I've been able to do that, faux bleach that out, pop a little bit more water on there. And you know, I'm really enjoying this because I don't get the time to do as much of these little details when we're on the shopping channel, because obviously we've got a very limited amount of time, an awful lot to tell you, and the presenter has to keep you updated with how things are going. Having the time to just sit in the little crafty room here at Crafters Companion HQ and talk you through all of these lovely techniques, really am enjoying that. So thank you very much for being with me. Right, so now what I'm going to do is change to my little yellow pad here. And my little yellow pad now, I'm going to bring in some spot colouring just on this little lamp here. So you can see I can bring that in over the top. Even though I've already done that blending, I've been able to faux bleach that out and bring it in. So the light bulb now is starting to give that colour with the yellow. And then what I want to do is give that a little bit of luminosity. So I'll do a little bit of faux bleaching there. And then that starts to look much brighter. Just down the side. Okay? So now we've got light coming across her face from the light bulb. We've got her light down here, and if I want to give this a little bit of luminosity down here, I can by just doing a little bit of faux bleaching. So the light is coming across her onto the little lamp there in the light, and looks like it's illuminating her, reading her book. And you can build up all of those colours really quickly and easily. You could add more colours in if you wanted to. You could do a little bit of black around there if you wanted, pop in another sentiment, or just matte and layer it up to make a really lovely card. Choice is absolutely yours. That was using all of the darker colours, and I don't often do that. I wanted to do that for you. My natural preference is to go for the bright colours and do a bright one or a pastel one. So I thought, do you know what, let's use the dark one so you can see those. And then just to remind you what they're all going to look like when you use the different ones, remember this was a pop one. So this is the medium colour. This is what I would do mostly. That's what I'm most comfortable with. This is the one using very similar colours, but with the butterfly images on, which you can see there. This is one using greens and blues, different colours there. And then you can see the pastel result that I've got there as well. Very easy to do. Now what you can do with the faux bleaching on there is get some texture as well. So you can take your fingers and just flick some water. This is my preferred method. I know some people like to get a paint brush and maybe tap the paintbrush. I'm a fan of pop your fingers in and flick it at the card. I just think I get a quicker and easier result. It also looks a little bit more random, and we've already talked about the fact that random doesn't come easy to me. And what I then do is end up flicking it in detail areas all around it. It doesn't look random at all, and then it doesn't look very good. So learn by my mistakes. Let that soak in for a little while, and I can pick that up, and I'll have that lovely texture all in the background there. So you really start to build up that, you know, distressed kind of look where you've got that grungy look going on. And what I've just thought to myself is, I just grab my bit of kitchen towel here. What I've just thought to myself is actually, I need a little bit more luminosity in her glasses. So I'm going to pop a little bit of water in there and then just faux bleach that out, and that looks so much better. Where I'm popping the water in. There we go. So it's looking so much easier there now, so much better, and I think I'm really quite liking that. Now if I want to add some more colour in, what I can do for this light bulb, for example, I can take a little bit of ink onto my mat, pick that up with my brush, and add in some deeper yellow down that side, which I'm hoping you'll be able to see there. I'm sure you can. So I can really build up that intensity in small areas if I want to, by painting the colour in as well. And if I want a little bit more, just add a little bit more of that onto my mat. Pick it up with my brush. Paint it into the light bulb, and I can just pick it up on the end of her hair there. And you can just start to keep adding in the details as you go along. And you can stop whenever you're ready to make that into a card. So that's how you would use several colours from the collection together. You can see how easy that was, and you've seen all of those little butterfly examples that I gave you there. Very, very easy to do. But all you need to remember is that you choose either the lightest colour from several collections, or the medium colour from several collections, or the darkest colour from several collections, and then you'll be able to build up those very different looks that I've just shown you. I chose the darkest colour from several different collections here. Now, what I haven't mentioned up to now is, super important, all the little bits that I make during the course of this hour and a half, or 2 hours, because you know I like to talk, however long it takes, I'm going to send out to somebody. We're going to have a winner, and you're going to get a completed card as well. So you'll get a proper full card, which I'll sign and say hello to whoever it is, and then you're going to get bits of homework, all the little bits I make in the duration of this little crafty session that we're having, so that you can make some of your own cards at home as well. So be commenting, be sharing with your friends. Don't forget we've got that little link at the bottom of the screen there, which is a link to all of my very favourites, which work with your ink pads, all of the things that I think you really need to get the best out of them. When you go through and follow that link, leave your details, and when you leave your details, we're going to email you a link to some exclusive content and tutorials with the Harmony ink pads. So you've always got that there. You never need to worry about finding this little event on our page again. You've just always got the link to it. And you'll also get emailed out to you tomorrow an exclusive code for some money off your next order. So that's exciting. So get commenting, let me know what you love about them, share with your friends, share the link, like the page, leave your details, and you're going to get a link to some exclusive content, and you're going to get a voucher emailed out to you tomorrow for some money off your next purchase, which is a little bit exciting as well. Right, so let's take a little pause and let's have a look at some more of your questions, because I think that's the nice thing to do, isn't it? I love chatting with everybody, so let's bring the iPad in, let's unlock it and find the thing first. Turn the volume down because you don't need to hear me in stereo. Here I am. There we are. Definitely don't need to hear me in stereo. Let's find all of the... Oh, here they are. Oh, I'm excited. Right. Marie, how lovely, Leann. Thank you, Marie. Love the background. Sandra, thank you very much for that. Love all... Bonnie Mayo, love all the colour combinations. Colour combinations are fantastic, Bonnie. And you can get it, it's infinite. Because if you use, for example, a yellow ink pad and a red ink pad, you're going to get a beautiful orange mixed up as well. I might show you that as well. A bit more obvious with the brighter colours, and I think I'll show you that after I've had a little look at these comments here, because I think it would be good for you to see. Fantastic tips in the ink pads. This is Donna Fraser Brown. Donna, where have you been? Donna is a real Crafters Companion fan, and I've been with Crafters Companion for almost 10 years now. Donna back in the day was always on our social media and Facebook groups and chatted to us a lot and loved all of our CDs. So Donna, lovely to hear from you again. It's been too long. Donna says, fantastic tips. The ink pads look fantastic. We'll have to get some to play with. Yes, you will, Donna. And do you know what? Wonderful to hear from you. I'm really happy to see you commenting there. Alison Bentley says, loving the demos and everything I've shown so far. Only have a couple of sets of Harmony ink pads, but think she might need more now. Well, follow the link down there, because that's where all the good information is. I adore the ink pads. They work great. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Bonnie says she loves watching me create. Thank you, Bonnie. Okay, so fabulous demos. Great, and love watching you use the ink pads. To tell the truth, I love all your demos. It makes me feel braver to try the techniques. Do you know what? I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Angela Lewis, for leaving that comment, because actually my whole ethos in my crafty life and being head of product development here at Crafters Companion is to make everything very easy and very accessible, to remove all of the mystery from those lovely techniques that you see, and just to make it possible for you to be able to do this at home really easily. And with these ink pads, promise you can absolutely do that. Okay, so everybody's, I have to go to work soon, but I'll be back later to watch. Darn that work. Who wants to go to work? Not me. Okay, I love watching the tutorials. Question: can I sell you things using threaders stamps to make my cushion? Well, you'd have to ask somebody on the threaders team, but yes, I do believe you can. I'm sure you can, in fact. Am I going to use the metallic pads? Yes, I am. I've got the metallic pads as well. I'll show you that. I love the ink so much. Let's do the metallic ink pads next, eh? Let's do that. Yes, I'll do them next for you. Been working lots, but see you at the shop sometime. I hope so. Oh, that's Donna. I've been working lots, but see you up at the shop sometime soon. Do, Donna, and let me know that you're there, and I'll pop out and see you. Our videos are great. Right, so you're all loving it, which I'm thrilled about. So I'm going to pop that to one side. If you've got any more questions about the ink pads and how they work, pop them on there. Just want to chat about life. Let me know how you are. Let me know that too. That's really important. And I just like to chin wag. Let's do the metallic ink pads next with the Harmony, eh? Because I think it's nice to see. Oh, and I've got lots of samples here. I'm going to move them. I'm going to put them down here and come back to them in a minute. After we've done this little look at Harmony with the metallic ink pads, I'll pick those little samples up and we'll have a look through them. Right, so popping them away. Look, see, this is my OCD coming back into play. All the ink pads have to go back in the right place in the trays when I've finished using them, because I can't do with mess. Right, so let's go now with one of our 3D folders, and I've got another little question I must have missed here. Oh, viewers have to type, all right, I'm going to tell you. So viewers have to type crafterscompanion.co.uk/page/Leann's-fave-harmony, and then you'll get all the links to all of the products. So that's what it is at the bottom. So it's not to click on it, go and type that into your browser, and then you'll be able to get through to that link and see all of that fabulous information there. Okay, we'll work on making it into a link maybe in the duration of this little live session that we've got here. If we don't, just go and write that down, type it into your browser, then it will take you to all of my favourites there, so you'll be able to click through and see all of the things that I've picked that you need to be able to work well with your Harmony ink pads. And don't forget, when you go through that, when you do that, you need to leave your details, and then we're going to send you a link to exclusive content and tutorials with me using your Harmony ink pads, and we're also going to send you out a voucher via email for some money off your next purchase, which who doesn't want money off their next purchase? So get sharing with your friends so they know they can save some money too. Leave your details, and then you'll get a nice little surprise in an email soon. Right, what I've got here is one of our lovely 3D folders that I've just used an inking technique on, but then I've highlighted it with one of our fabulous Midas metallic ink pads. So I thought, let's have a little look at how to do that. So I've got a couple of pieces here embossed with our 3D folders. already, and I've got that lovely knitted texture, and then I've got this lovely floral one. So do you know what, we'll work with them both. So I've got my little gadgets here, so I'm going to definitely do yellow, and I'm going to do yellow, I'm going to do pink, and I'm going to do bluey green, because I want you to see that last one I did, this one, I'm just going to remind you, this last one I did used all the dark colours, which gives you that really grungy look, and some of you love that. I particularly love the bright look, and I want you to see how you can mix new colours using several colours of your ink pads. So I'm going to take my fuchsia, I'm going to take my lemon tonic. These are my three favourite colours. Whenever you're watching demonstrations with me on Harmony ink pads, I naturally gravitate to these three colours all the time. I think they are my very favourite. And I've got my parakeet from my turquoise collection. So first thing I'm going to do is with the floral. Let's do this one. So I'm going to start with the lemon tonic. Let's just get my little foam pad on here nice and securely. And I'll bring my ink pad down so I'm not reaching over it, so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got actually, if I put them in a little line here rather than in a pile at the top, you'll be able to see what I'm doing and I won't have to reach over it. Oh, good news coming from the Crafty Fairy. The new link works. So the link at the bottom of the screen you can see now is working, and you don't have to type the information anymore. Woohoo! Just click on the link. You're going to go through, see all of my favourites, and remember, you're going to leave your details, you're going to get a link to some exclusive content, and then you're also going to get a voucher code with by email to get some money off your next purchase, which is brilliant, is it not? So I'm just using my lemon tonic here, and on my card you see I'm able to get really bright, really beautiful, vibrant colour very quickly and easily, and loads of coverage. And it's not difficult to do. Bit of kitchen roll, because I'll get my fingers in it. Don't want my fingers in it. Here it is here. There we go. Follow my own good advice, Leann. Now, notice there where I got a square mark. Can you see that? You don't have to worry about that with our ink pads, guys, because all you do is whack it back in here, whack it back on there, and blend it out, and that mark's gone. That's how quick and easy and reliable these ink pads are, and it's what you can expect to be able to achieve at home when you get these ink pads without any worry at all. So that's my yellow one. Now I'm going to pick up my pink. So this is with my fuchsia, and I'm going to bring my fuchsia in from the other side, which you'll see here. Now what you'll look at how fabulous that is. Could that be any more fabulous if it tried? It really couldn't. And look what's happening. Where the pink is overlapping the yellow, I'm getting this beautiful orange colour. And this is what I mean about infinite colour choices being possible with these amazing ink pads, because you've got beautiful, vibrant, easy lay down of colour. It could not be more effortless. But then by overlaying the colours, you can build new colours really quickly and easily. If I now move on to my turquoise, so let's just turn that round, and I take my turquoise colour from here and just hold that still. I can add my turquoise and build that beautiful colour in the corner, but as I overlay on the yellow here, look what's happening. I'm getting that beautiful green come through, because these colours will mix effortlessly on your cardstock with your little tool here. And then as I go over here to my pink, what you'll see is I'm getting purple. Look at that. And I've got that wonderful light down there. And I can blend all of the colours together, and I can bring them together in the middle, and where they overlap I get new colours being made and mixed together, and it's really, really easy to do. Could not be more simple. If I just bring some more of the blue over there, you'll see I've got that beautiful purple now, which then mixes up here into the green, into the yellow, into the orange, the peachy colour, brings a deeper aubergine colour out down here, into the pink, into my turquoise. And all I've done to get all of these beautiful different shades of colour on that 3D embossing folder is use 3 ink pads, and I must have 6 different colours going on there. So that's how easy they start to blend together. I do love the bright colours, they are my favourite. Right, so now what I can do is use one of my metallic ink pads, and I'm going to reach over and grab my blush. I've got blush and I've got a rose gold here somewhere as well, which I totally love. I'm going to grab that one out. Oh, you see my lovely roots there, they need doing, sorry. And now all I'm going to do is give it a little highlight. So I'm just rubbing over the raised areas. So I'm going to start with the blush and I might go to a platinum, and all I'm going to do is with my metallic ink pad is just brush it over the surface of that raised detail. I'm going to do one side so you can see the difference between the two sides. Brush it over the raised detail of my 3D embossing folder there. So I get a lovely metallic, look at the difference, a lovely metallic sheen to the raised areas, just using my pigment metallic ink pad. If I want to add a little bit more depth into that, I can grab, I've got platinum here, so let's go silver. I'm reaching over getting the silver. Oh, I've got a big desk here in the crafty room. Grabbing my silver and then just rubbing a little bit of that on there too. And that looks beautiful. And then if I do the silver on this side, you'll see the difference. And all it does, I'm just whispering it across the top. I'm not pushing on, just whispering it across the top. And what you'll see is it starts to give you that lovely dimension and that little bit of a distressed look on the top of your 3D embossing folder. However, what you can do, and I've got another little tool here which I'm going to grab. I've got a little round tool anyway. The little round foam off the tool, I'm going to show you how to apply that. So, and I've got another question incoming. Sandra says, are the Harmony inks water-based? Yes, they are. Harmony inks are water-based, as are these pigment ink pads as well that we use. Both of these are water-based. So if that's important to you, yes. And I'm going to show you why it's important with the metallic ones in just a tick. What I can do is take a little bit of sponge applicator. If you've got your handle, I've lost my handle, but you'll have your handle at home. What you can do is start to sponge in more intense metallic colour in areas. And as you bring it over the top, what it will still do is let the colour shine through. So that's with the silver on that side. If I do it with the rose on this side, you'll see the rose gold colour coming in and picking up that detail. I can intensify the colour of the metallic coming in at the corners, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So your Harmony ink pads will work really well with your metallic ink pads as well. Now, if I just move that up a little way and get a piece of black cardstock, what I want to show you is how amazing these metallic ink pads are for stamping images on black card, because it may be, and I was definitely one of these people, that you've had metallic ink, have I got the right one this time? Yes. That you've had metallic ink pads in the past and you've been very disappointed. I'm holding my hand up. Hello, my name is Leann Chivers. I've had metallic ink pads in the past and I've been incredibly disappointed. You will not be with these ones. I absolutely 100% give you my word on that, because these are the very best quality you could expect to get from a metallic ink pad with beautiful stamped impressions. So what I'm going to do is take my metallic ink pad. Oh, more questions, hang on. Susan says, can we get your techniques on a DVD? Well, you can, Susan, because in Crafters Inspiration issue 19, we had a free DVD with all of my ink pad techniques on. So the answer is yes. And also, top tip, follow the link, because you're going to get you follow the link down here, fill in your details. We're going to email you a link to some exclusive tutorial content that you don't have to pay for. It's free. Shh. Tell all your friends. And then that'll be there all the time for you. It's exciting and it's fabulous. Right, so let's get back to these ones here. I've got my pigment ink pad, and what I'm doing is just lots of light tapping on this lovely butterfly stamp to get a good coverage. Now what you'll notice with these is you can see there that it's a lovely sponge applicator, and you need a sponge applicator with a pigment ink pad because it's more, here's the word, technical, gloopy than a water-based dye. And so you really need to get that wonderful coverage on there. So give it a good old pat, and then on this piece of black cardstock, you'll see with my rocker block how amazing. I've missed a little bit there, so I didn't get enough ink, but look here how amazing and solid and gorgeous that metallic image is. I'm going to woggle it at you. Look. I'm woggling. Look. Oh, Look at that metallic shine. That is what I call a fabulous metallic ink pad. Here's the next thing. Dries instantly. So you're not spreading it all over. That's why I was really, really disappointed with metallic ink pads in the past. It would smudge all over the place. But that's not the only thing. Use one of your applicators. I'm going back to my rose one now. Use one of your applicators and you can do lovely, soft, smooth, blended metallic effects, if that's what you want to do. You can see here, lovely, soft metallic effects, and they'll blend lovely and smoothly. And you can do that not only on your black cardstock, but on your coloured cardstocks as well. And you can start to build up lovely metallic highlights and vignettes in the corner. The metallic will never be quite as intense on a white piece of cardstock as it is on black, but you can absolutely do that. If you've die cut your sentiments and you want to get a lot of metallic down, just sponge it on. And then look at how much more different that looks in the corner there with that rose gold by just sponging it on. So picking it up on my applicator and getting a lot of that colour on there. So sponging it. Looks absolutely, I mean, look at it. You can't even see the black card underneath it. It's truly exceptional. Now, don't waste this little bit that's been left on the mat down here, because what you can also do with your metallic ink pads, I'm just going to show you, put a little bit more on there. This is my favourite, the rose gold. You can emulsify that with water and you can paint metallic. Now, when that dries, you'll see the full metallic effect on there. Oh, I've got a heat gun here. Hang on. Is it switched on? Because that'll help. Oh, exciting. That's helpful. Look, happening in front of your eyes. When it dries, you get that beautiful painted look, and it's got oh, hang on, how do you switch it off? And then it's got that lovely metallic look on there. I can do that for detail painting on my florals if I want to. So now I can get detailed, and if this was a sentiment, I could trace a sentiment, detailed metallic highlights only on the petals of the flowers by being really precise, emulsifying that on my mat, making it into a paint, painting it on the flower. Look at that. Dry it. Now then, Carlotta has sent a question in. Hello, Carlotta. And Carlotta says, are the rectangle blenders different to the round, or is it just personal preference? I think it is a lot of personal preference, Carlotta. And thank you very much. Oh, I keep it. It's like my new Dyson hairdryer. So, it is personal preference. I like the square ones for large area coverage like this. But when I picked up the little round one earlier, did you see me do that? I don't even know where I've put it now. One of these ones here. I wanted the little round one just to do some small accents and highlights. So I like the little round ones for detail work in small areas for small amounts of colour. And I like my big one for large area coverage and fill. So I use both depending on what I'm doing. Large area fill, the square one, little detail, the round one. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Carlotta. So you can see there with my pigment ink pads, my metallic pigment ink pads, how fabulous the results are that you're going to be able to get. They're really lovely. And you can get, I'm going to get another bit out here and show you, second generation stamping. Don't forget, all of these little pieces that I make, I'm going to be sending out to you at the end as well. I'm going to be picking someone. So keep commenting, because the only way you get picked is if you comment, because I don't know you're there if you're not leaving me a comment. Alright, so I'm just putting the lids back on those. Move them out the way. This is fun, isn't it? Now I've got a spare piece of black card. I've got my ink pad that I inked up earlier. Have I got some water in here? Just checking. Yes, I have. Marvellous. I've got one of my Spectrum Noir spritzers even, which, top tip, follow the link, because they're definitely one of my favourites. Follow the link at the bottom. You need your Spectrum Noir spritzers in your life. Spritz this now. And I'm going with, so there's two different ways of spritzing. I'm going to show you here. There's spritz. You get lots of water. I can't think of another way of explaining it to you. Oh, you know when you go to the department store and you're walking through and every one of those blinking women on the perfume counter waft you with something as you're going past, and you come out smelling like you didn't smell when you left the house that morning. You do what I call a perfume waft. So that's one of these. A mist. Pop, 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 pop. Not. So we're going to do a perfume waft on top of our lovely little thing. Look. Perfume waft, not because then it's not going to look great. What can I say? It's very, you know what I mean by that. You all know what I mean by that. Look, second generation stamping with my perfume waft. So I can keep going back with a little bit of a spritz with this metallic pigment ink. Look how marvellous this is going to be. So now I can build up a whole background effect with my butterflies and get several different impressions out of that. And then when I dry it, I get this lovely ethereal watercolour effect, but with that, look at it when it dries, with that amazing metallic shine. And I would get loads more out of this. If I just do, remember, do your perfume waft, not your... There we go. So I can keep doing that, and I can get more and more and more and more out of those. So I'm going to send you that as well, so you can use that as a background. And you can see, look, when I woggle it, it's still got that amazing rose gold metallic shine on there. And every one of the colours work in exactly the same way. So you get really intense pigment look here, or you get that more subtle look by just wafting with your water and getting those second impressions. You can paint detail and you can splodge it on for your sentiments and to get a really lovely dense, oh look at that, lovely dense metallic shine. Amazing. And you can use them with your Harmony water reactive ink pads. Just looks absolutely gorgeous. All right then, so that was with our 3D folder. Now what am I going to show you now? Now I want to show you one of my favourite things. A few of my favourite things. I won't break it into song because you would definitely all just close your browser down immediately and run out of the room you're watching in it currently, because I can't sing to save my life. But one of my favourite things to do is to stamp with these. So I'm going to do a stamped one, and then we're going to have a look at combining our quick dry dye and Harmony together, because I think that'll be really good. Meanwhile though, I've got a question from Catherine, and Catherine says, does the metallic ink clean off your stamps, or is there a certain type of cleaner needed? No, Catherine, it will clean off your stamps. So this is when you are allowed to use the technique. So I'm going to get my spritzer, and I've got my little bit of old kitchen towel here, and then all I'm doing is saturating that stamp with that metallic ink pad and then giving it a rub. And you can see my rubber all comes back to the fore, the metallic all comes off. No special cleaner needed, which is the true joy of having a water-based ink pad, because you don't need a special cleaner. And now that stamp there would work perfectly with my finesse waterproof, or with the Harmony, depending on what I want to do. In fact, let's do it with the Harmony now. Just making new techniques as we go along. Why not? It's fun. Right, so we're going to use some pink. Now then, oval pads. Haven't mentioned that yet. Why are they oval? They're oval because they're really comfortable to hold in your hand, whether your hands are small or larger. And if you've got dexterity issues, you can actually just get them in the tips of your fingers really securely, like this, without having to bend your hand into a really uncomfortable position to use them. So the oval is really, really important for me for that. The other thing is you can use it flat and full to get a big large area fill, or you can just tip it to the side and use one of the small rounded bits to get some detailed ink application when you're putting it on, where you don't want an awful lot of that ink on there, or where you want to layer up several colours, which is what we're going to do here. So you can see I've tipped that to the side, and what I've done is getting a really good coverage of the pink just across the middle of my stamp there. So I've got the pink, and then I'm going to use some of the purple. I do love this one too. It's another one of my favourites, and this one is Crushed Velvet. Beautiful names. So Crushed Velvet going at the bottom here on the purple butterfly. And you know, some of these techniques that I'm showing you now in this little session in our crafty room, I wasn't able to show you on the shows last week on Create and Craft because we've got a limited amount of time and we can't fit everything in. And so I've got to show you the basic, the most popular uses that people really want to see. Having the time now just to mix things up and play and do all sorts of different stuff, I'm absolutely loving. And if there's something that you particularly want to see, don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what it is you want to see, and if I've got the goods here, or if the Crafty Fairy can grab them, we'll show you. Why not? That's what we're here for. Okay, so I'm going to huff now. huff's a technical term, I'm going and all that does is give enough heat and moisture to reactivate the ink so that you get a beautiful stamped impression with that butterfly. Now, loving that. Now what I'm going to do is do my perfume waft again. I love a nice bright stamped image like that, but one of my favourite things is when you get water on it, it all starts to move and look very distressed and gorgeous. So the couple of ways you can do that. You can go high, which is what I'm going here, and you can just spritz your water on and you'll see that it starts to move and look gorgeous. You see that moving there? It's diffusing. Or you can go closer, and the closer you go, the more movement you'll get. You can see there. And then leave it when you get to that point. Just let it do its thing. If you keep adding more water, you will lose the impression of the butterfly completely, and you'll end up with a big purple, pink and blue splodge in the middle of your card. By leaving it alone now and letting it do its own thing, the little bits of water will take the ink and it'll all start to trickle away and diffuse, and then it will dry. You can see this one here doing its thing, moving down here, just growing as we talk. It will dry and you get that beautiful look of a butterfly, but with all that lovely watercolour technique moving on there. I love that as a topper. However, what you can do then, now just another thing to mention, if it's starting to move too much and you want it to stop moving, get your heat gun on it. It's got several speeds. That one's the posh one. Ooh, ooh. So there we go. And you can stop it moving, which is great. So we're going to move that to one side. But exactly as I've just done with my butterflies, you can do lots of second generation stamping. So if that was chopped down to be a smaller topper, what I could do would be a background to go with my topper of the butterfly I've just created by doing the flinging your spritzer on the floor. Is there another one here with water in it? Yes, there is. Good. I'll pick that one up in a minute that I just flung on the floor when I was going to do my perfume waft. You're going to do your little waft of water. So just remember, just a small mist, and then we're going to stamp that on, and we can start to build up. Look at that. Do you know what? I would just leave that alone. I'd put a nice dark blue mat behind that, stamp a sentiment up here, do nothing else. Leave it. Maybe do this. Just, oh yes. Just get... Look, I'm just having a nice time. Just get it to move. That looks amazing. That's a nice, clean and simple card with the waste ink from your stamp when you did the first topper. And that's almost better the second time, to be fair, I think. Now we can do that several more times. So you just keep doing a little waft with your water and then stamp it down. And you see it gets a little bit less every time. But if you're clever about how you position it and how you do it, you can start to build up your own bespoke watercoloured scrapbook papers for your cards, and it looks really beautiful. There we go. So I've got a really lovely background that I've made by just cleaning up my stamp, and that could not be any more easy than to get all the ink off there, just some more water on, your little bit of kitchen towel that you had before, give it a rub, and it's ready to be used again with another technique or another product. And we've got that lovely background which was cleaning up the stamp from doing that technique there. And I would chop that down into a square, mat it under a bit of blue card, put it in the middle of here, and then mat that all into another card again, and you've got, with a sentiment, and you've got something that's going to look truly beautiful. And how long did it take? Less than 5 minutes? It just took us a few seconds to do that. So that's another thing you can do with your fabulous Harmony ink pads. Right, let's have a look at some more questions over here. Let's see what you're all saying and what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying. If you want to... Oh, you can see yourself. Can you see yourself? No, you can't. That's marvellous. I've got it there. I thought you could. Oh, there you can. Oh, there you are. You can see yourself. How fabulous is that? Right. So, Teresa, can't wait to try your techniques after receiving my shipment from HSN. I'm really happy to hear that, Teresa. Thank you. I could watch this the whole day. Kirsten, I've got a reputation for running over time. I'm always here longer than I should be. I've probably been... Yeah, I probably only should have another 15 minutes. I've got another half an hour's worth of stuff to show you. So don't tell the powers that be. We'll finish when we finish. How do you clean your rocker block? Oh, that's a good one. I'll show you that after we've done these little questions. Dead easy. The misters are not showing up. Oh, check the link again. I'm going to put a shout out via the Crafty Fairy into the powers that be. Make sure that the misters get put into that little group for you because they should be there. Oh, you like that technique? That's great. Blah, blah, blah. You're all absolutely loving it. Oh, I always said Alison Bentley says, she always ends up yelling at the telly, shouting at them to let us get on with the demos. I'm so loving this live video, learning so much from you, Leann. Well, Alison, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you very much. It's really tricky when we're down at the shopping channel because we've got an hour. We've got to give people time to buy the stuff that we're selling, obviously on that hour, and then we've got to build in as many demos so people can see how the product works. So it ends up getting a bit tricky, which is why here at Crafter's Companion, what we're trying to do is come back after we've done one of those shows for you with fabulous product and just have a nice time in our craft room here. Our Debbie did one yesterday, or Tuesday I think it was, Debbie Robinson. She had a great one on the Builder's Zine dies. Our Fiona's coming up tomorrow with some great product as well. She's going to do one of these for you. I'm back next week with our Tri-Blend pens. We're regularly going to be coming back and just taking the time to show you how fabulous these products are and just have the time to really be able to explain them to you. So we can see here, I'm just going to read this. Our Fiona's live on Friday the 8th of March from 1 o'clock. There it is, look, that's helpful for you. So she's on at 1 o'clock with Inspiration and Education You in the Nature's Garden Peony Collection. Oh my word. Right, I'm putting a request in. Fiona, are you watching? I know she is because she's in the room next door. Shh. Fiona, please show everybody how to make one of those 3D peonies. Oh, she's here. She's looking in the door. She's shaking her fish, she's waving. Come in, Fiona, come in, come in. Come in, here she's here. Come in, Fiona. Here, look. Here, it says, say hello to everybody. Look at all the people watching. Here's our you talk on my microphone here. Hello, she's talking on my microphone. Fiona, tomorrow, come in with our peony collection. And will you do everybody a 3D peony? You know when you really build them up in 3D?
Brilliant.
Will you? Because it's amazing.
It's fantastic. We'll love it.
Okay, thank you, Fiona. See you later, sweetheart. Brilliant. Oh, guest appearance from our Fiona. How fabulous is that? She'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock with the Nature's Garden Peony Collection. Please tune in and watch her because you're going to love that. Now then, Lynn, how do you clean your blending pads? Funny you should ask. I'm about to do that very thing. So let's clean our blending pads and let's clean our rocker block for the lady who I looked at in here who wanted to know how to clean the rocker block. I think it was Teresa. If I got your name wrong, I apologise. I'm not very good with names. Right, how do I clean my pads? So here's a pink pad and here's a yellow pad. Really easy. You need your spritzer again. This time you're not doing the perfume waft. You're doing the onto your kitchen towel. So you're going to really wet your kitchen towel like that. When I say really wet, not saturate actually. If you saturate it, it'll be too much water. And then you're going to take your blending tool and you're just going to dab it onto your kitchen roll. And what the water and the kitchen towel is going to do is suck the ink out of the foam on there, and it'll get to the point, you can see I'm getting to that point now, where you won't get any more ink off it. And then you can go on and start blending with it. Now, tip though, what I would do is always keep this for pink. I wouldn't start trying to put that in yellow or something like that because I would get orange. But what it will do is take all of the dark and intense pink off so I can start back with my light pink again if I want to do one of these blended ombres that you can see here. Oh, sorry, turn around, there you are. If you can see if you want to do one of those blended ombres and start with your light colour again. So this now will always be my pink foam pad, but I can take off the intensity of the ink by just wetting a little bit of kitchen towel, as you can see there. And I would do the same with the yellow, and I don't need to change the bit of kitchen towel to do that. Just add a little bit more of the water, go in with the kitchen towel, take off the intensity of the ink, and then I'm ready to go again with my yellow pad. You can see I've managed to take that all off there. Top tip, keep these, definitely spritz it, and then die cut them, make paper flowers. Definitely don't put them in the bin. So that's how you clean your foam pads. How do you clean your rocker block? Well, to clean your rocker block, you need in your life what I used the first time and I shouldn't have used. You need our Stick Away. Stick Away is the best cleaning product for your craft room that you will ever invest in. I promise you faithfully. It's amazing. So now what I would do is just spray my rocker block with my Stick Away. Let that soak in, let it emulsify. You can use a baby wipe if you want, but I'm just using kitchen roll. Let it soak in with my kitchen roll, give it a little rub, and that'll come up lovely and clean. Now if you've been a very dirty rocker blocker, like I am, look. Embarrassed. Embarrassed. If you've been a very dirty rocker blocker like I am, you might have to do a couple of applications. Look at all that. So that's how you clean your Rockablock. Connie loves our ink pads, but what set should she start with? Right then, Connie. Do you know what, Connie, I love your name, but do you know what I always want to do? Please don't hold this against me. Does anybody like Peter Kay? I always want to go, Connie, 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 she's here. Connie, with her quavers coming through. I'm sorry, Connie, I can't help it. Whenever I hear that name, Peter Kay jumps to the forefront of my mind, and I love the name. So good on you. Right, and I hope you like your quavers, Connie. Right, now then, first set to start with, I would say, what is your favourite colour? Because all of the ink pads work in exactly the same way. So what's your favourite colour? Pick it and you'll get a lovely result. For me, it would be the pinks, or it would be yellow, or the turquoise, because I really love those three. It's the three I go to all the time. So maybe get three, if you can stretch to it, get 3 sets, so you've got 9 ink pads. And then what that'll let you do is this. Remember this, where you could do your pastel, your grungy, and your bright. Look, if you get those 9 ink pads, if you get those 3 sets, or 3 sets that you like, then you're going to be able to get those 3 very different looks by either using all the pastels, all the mid, or all the dark tones. So that's what I would say. However, if you can only stretch to 1 set of 3, just pick your favourite colour and have fun with it, and then add to them as and when you can. Okay, I'm just going to pop these metallic ones back in their little slots, because I know that's going to end unhappily, and they're going to fall all over the place, because I'm such a clumsy crafter. That one's already lost its lid, look. Get back on. Right, it's on. Marvellous. So I'll put that there. Now, next thing to show you. What I was going to show, I've shown you how to clean your Rockablock. See, it's really dirty still. I'm going to have to do it again, guys. I'm really a mucky crafter. So a little bit more stick away, bit of kitchen roll, give it a bit of elbow grease, and then all of that horrible gunge will come off there. There you are. And then you're ready to go. Look at my bit of kitchen towel. This is what I mean about stick away being absolutely the best craft room cleaner that can be out there. Right, apologies for being a very dirty crafter. There you go, I'm ashamed of myself already. Now then, the next technique I like, which is a little bit like the technique you've just seen me do with the butterfly, with the 2nd generation stamping, but is with a floral. Now, for all of the ladies who I'm hoping and I'm sure, if they can, they are watching, who was at our Craftaganza this year in November when we were at Redworth Hall. And if you don't know about Craftaganza, check out our website, because we'll be doing it again in November this year. It's a brilliant craft retreat where ladies from all over the country come together, and we just spend 3 days in workshops just crafting, learning new techniques and having a fabulous time. It is the most amazing experience. We have entertainment on a night, we all have dinner, and we have cakes and scones and coffee, a little gin and tonic. It's absolutely the best fun, really it is. So if you're not aware of that, check out our website and you'll be able to find out about Craftaganza, I'm sure. But also don't forget that little link down there. That's going to take you through to all of my favourite items that I'm showing you in this lovely little live crafty chat that we're having here in the craft room of Crafter's Companion with our fabulous Harmony ink pads. All of my favourite go-to items are in that link for you. Follow that link through, fill in your details. We're going to send you a link to some exclusive educational content which has lots of tutorials from me. So it means you can watch this back lots of times, pause it, rewind it, play it whenever you want, in the middle of the night, at the beginning of the day. You don't have to wait for a live. It's just always there for you. Use it along with your ink pad so you can practice. So just use it as some lovely tutorial. That's going to be great. And then what we're also going to do is email you out a voucher code off your next purchase from Crafter's Companion so you can save some money. And who doesn't like to save some money? Right, I've got another question. Kathy, do Harmony work with other brands of ink pad? Yes, of course they do. All the ink pads play together. We're friends with everybody here at Crafter's Companion. So yes, they'll work with any of the other ink pads you've got at home. I've got a stupid amount of ink pads. I'm just going to tell you, shall I tell you? I have got an excess of 250 ink pads at home. I'm sure you're the same, but I have to have them all. I do use my Harmony more now because it fixes all of the problems that I had in the past when I used to get frustrated and not get very good looks. And actually what it looks like is a whole range of Harry Potter Dementors coming in across my card, just about to gobble the whole thing up. It looks awful some of the time. Now that I've got my Harmony, I get beautiful results. So of course, they're my preference. But if you've got other ink pads and you want to get a couple and use them alongside, yes, they'll play nicely together. Of course you can. Right, so I've just got a lovely floral here. Enough chatting for now. Let's get on with some interesting stuff. So So I'm going to take my purple again. I do love a bit of purple. You've got to be pleased that I like a bit of purple working for Crafter's Companion. Are you not? Everything's purple here at Purple Towers. And I've also got my lovely pine tree green and this really nice floral stamp, and all I'm going to do is ink it up. Now this is one of the quickest cards and one of the quickest techniques you will ever be able to make, but also one of the most impressive. And circle back to why I started talking about Craftaganza about 10 minutes ago. I was going to tell you, see, I got distracted. It happens a lot now at my age. The ladies at the Craftaganza class this last year in November, this was their favourite thing to do with the ink pads, and a lot of them the favourite card they made out of the whole event, because it's so easy but it's so impressive. So all I've done is use my purple there and ink up the purple onto the flower, and now I'm using my pine green and I'm just inking my pine green onto the leaves, and because I've got that lovely curvature on my ink pad, I can get into little detail all around. I thought I'd seen a couple of areas there with no purple, so I've just gone back in again. And then I'm going to huff exactly as I did for the butterfly. And that's just enough heat and moisture to get you a lovely impression with your stamped image. So look how beautiful that is. Really quick and easy. You can just leave it like that if you want and just send that to somebody. It's just a beautiful stamped image with your Harmony Water Reactive. But the true joy of this now is by getting a bit of kitchen towel, getting your pot of water, popping your little detail brush in there, taking off the majority of the water onto your kitchen towel, and then just dabbing. Now you do not have to be clever, you do not have to be talented, you do not have to be an artist, and you do not have to know where to put light and shade, because I'm doing nothing other than dabbing water onto the stamped image. What I'm not doing is flooding it with water, so I am leaving some little white areas, because what that's doing is creating my natural highlight for me. So all I'm doing is dabbing the water on, and I'm not being organised about where I'm dabbing it. You can see I'm just dabbing the brush, and I only moisten that brush once to do that floral. Once more for the next one, take most of the water off onto your kitchen towel so your brush is damp, not wet, and then just dab it in. That is what you call a 60-second card without any effort at all, a 60-second topper, and they look amazing. And it looks amazing on lots of different styles of stamp as well. It doesn't just have to be with your florals. It can be with your butterflies, with your lovebirds, with your cupcakes. It can be with a more structured image, with your fairies, if that's what you want to do. That's how quick I've done that topper. You've seen me stamp it and colour it immediately for you. This is what it looks like when you make it into a full card. That looks exquisite, and you can see in the background, just using another little floral, same technique to create my background paper. Same technique here, but with a different colour of ink pad. And actually with this one, what I've done is drag the colour out more. So where I haven't been precise, I've just dabbed. With this one, I've done more of a painterly effect. But you can see you get exactly the same result. 3D, beautiful painted florals in 60 seconds. That could not be more simple, could it? Really, truly fantastic. Now, the other good thing about that is, I've got one here, and I've got one here which I'd like to show you. I've got a butterfly, and I think I had a rose somewhere. A rose for a rose. Have I lost it? I have. Never. Oh, no, it's here. Put it somewhere safe. It's right here. So, same technique. Now, these were stamped before I went down to do the shows on Create and Craft. So these were stamped probably up to a week ago now, okay, ready to do the shows. Now, just before I do this, Margaret asks, hello Margaret, when am I inking on the stamp? Oh, hang on, I can't even read. I need a cup of tea. When you are inking on the stamp with the different colours, do you contaminate the inks? Now, if you had pink and yellow, you might, so you would need to be a little bit careful. When I've got two darker colours like that with the purple and the green, doesn't make a jot of difference. But if I had pink and yellow, and I did the pink first, I might pick up a little bit of that onto the yellow pad. All you do is get a little bit of kitchen towel, wipe round the end of your ink pad, and it'll take the colour off and you'll be fine. And don't worry about it. So if you do get a little bit on there, just wipe it off with a little bit of kitchen towel and it's going to fix it. All right, Margaret. So these were stamped nearly a week ago. And what you'll see is I can still move the colour, but not as much as a freshly stamped image. However, what it does mean is that you can still get this beautiful, so if you stamp them and dry them with your heat gun, or if you stamp them and leave them for a few days, you can be a little bit more generous, because notice I'm not taking the water off onto my kitchen towel now. I'm actually being very generous with the water that I'm putting on here. But all I'm doing is washing all over it with water, not even being careful about colours mixing over the top of each other, where I'm applying the water, just a really wet brush, dragging it all over. And what that's done is take all of those colours, mix them together, and give me a beautiful watercoloured butterfly, which you would have spent half an hour trying to make look like that, and maybe not quite getting it to look like that. How long did that take? 20 seconds? You can absolutely achieve all of these beautiful results with your Harmony ink pads. And how many different things have we done? This is another one here. So this is the rose. So this was stamped probably over a week ago now. And now I'm saturating it exactly as you've just seen me doing with the butterfly. Plenty of water, just all over the top. And what I'm going to get is a beautiful, soft, watercoloured look, because it's being left to dry. You could do that with your heat gun, or you can just leave them, stamp a load, leave them in your craft room, come back to them a few days, a week later, and know that you can do this and have a topper in for a card, which you just need to put a lovely sentiment, a bit of ribbon on, in an instant. It really is that instantaneous. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit more depth to that, what you can do is take your, I'm going to take my red ink pad here and put a little bit on my craft mat, and then I'm going to take a little bit of my purple as well, put a little bit of that on my craft mat, because they're the two colours that have been used here. And then I'm going to take my brush, take off the water so it's damp, pick up a little bit of the colour, add in some, oh look, add in where I want some more of the colour, add in some more highlight, just add in some more depth, sorry, shade, not highlight. Get your words right, Leann. And I can start to build that up really quickly and easily just around the edges if I want to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. But again, I'm not being an artist about this. I'm not clever. I don't understand painterly techniques. It's not what I was good at. I got, oh, shall I tell you what happened to me at school? My art teacher told me I had no skill or talent, and that for the next lesson I should bring me Blue Jeans magazine. Scott is for life. But what I'd like to say is, Mr. Brown, look who's painting now. And Mr. Brown, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. There we go. Because look at what we've been able to do really quickly and easily. And my art teacher said I had no skill. And if you worry about that yourself at home, you can absolutely do this with no effort at all, and you can get that beautiful watercoloured rose. How gorgeous does that look? We can do the same with our green. I'm not sure if I should have said that to Mr. Brown. Don't tell anybody. Nobody's listening or watching. Don't tell the boss. I might get into trouble. And I quite like my job. And I'd like to be in back next week again, making products for Crafters Companion. Bit of green on the leaves. No real skill in it at all, look. Just scribbling it on, and it brings all of that lovely depth and dimension out there straight away. Very, very simple and easy to do. So in, what, a minute, 2 minutes? 2 beautiful toppers, and also that one which we did from scratch. Look how quick you can start to make beautiful things for your cards, real focal points, because these inks are so easy to use. So many things to show you. Right, now, it's an hour and a half. The crook's going to come in and drag us off. I should be saying goodbye now. Should I say goodbye or should we keep going? Put your hands up if you think I should keep going. I'm looking at my iPad. Right, I'm looking at my iPad. If I get in the next 10 seconds to keep going, I'm going to keep going. I'm watching. Beautiful. I've got a beautiful for Linda. Linda, do you want me to keep going? Let me know, because I need to keep. I've got lots of love hearts. Lisa Varberg says I'm very funny. Well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I promise you I don't try to be. I'm just chatting to you like we're here. It's in my own home, and we're just here in the craft room at Crafters Companion, and I'm just chatting to you like we're all good friends and we've got a cup of tea and we're doing some crafting together. And that's what I love about these sessions, because that's essentially what we're all doing. We're just having a nice time with our crafty product. And you know what, when you're having a nice time, then the humour comes, doesn't it? And you're just chatting along as if we're friends. No, if it's strictly professional on my behalf, but anyway, I'm having a nice time with you. Oh, keep going. We've got, oh, no, keep going. Oh, we've got loads of them. Oh, guess what? I'm keeping going. So, let's have a look at this technique, because I love this. So what I've got here is I've stamped with our watermark ink pad, I've stamped a beautiful floral image, and I've heat embossed it in a white powder. Now, if I woggle this at you, you might be able to see it. Can you see it? Can you not? Woggle. Oh, there. Just seeing it shining. Woggling. No. Never mind. Oh, there. Just seen it there. Oh, you can see a hint of it. There we are. Marvellous. So I've got a beautiful floral image here. Now, one of my top tips is to get one of your big brushes, because I want to see where this floral is on here, and I want it to have a really nice background. Now, most of the time, what you all would do is try to colour that flower, and you'd be doing exactly what I'm doing there. Where is it? Can't quite see it. Woggling it. What am I going to do? Top tip is get one of your big brushes and some water. Get one of the nice light colours from your Harmony ink pads, which I've got here. And this one for me was the Oasis. And then just give it a nice little wash in the background. And what you'll see happening, I can see it here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, is it's much more obvious where that flower is. So I can start to pick it up. I'm going to make it a little bit more intense for you, so you can really see it, because you'll be able to see what I'm doing when I do that. So let's pick up some more of this colour with a bit of the water and paint it on. Oh, there. You see that now? You can see that flower coming out. Yes, you can. Okay, so that's great, and I'll pick it up and show you. So just get your watercolour wash in the background before you start doing your detail painting. Alright, so get that in there. And then what you can do in between, if I just pick that up and woggle it at you, you'll be able to see that a lot better now. There you go. Look, with that lovely pale colour wash. Now when your bright light's not shining on it, you can see where the flower is to do the next technique. And that really is helpful if you struggle a little bit seeing things like I do. So I'll just clean that up there off my mat. I don't need my big brush any longer. And then what I'm going to do is use my heat gun. It's a posh one, isn't it? And just dry this off. Water. Just in case you're wondering. I definitely need a drink of water because I'm all the time. Thank you very much, Crafty Fairy. Right, so now what we're going to do is paint in some bright colour into these florals. So I'm going to get my orange, because I do like the orange. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm going to have a little bit of the orange down here on my craft mat. Lovely. And I'm probably going to have a little bit of my lemon tonic as well. Lemon tonic, going back in its correct little place. And I'm probably going to go with a little bit of the Chinese red. Oh, look, I put the orange in its wrong hole. Put it back where it should go. A little bit of red. Right, lovely. So now what we're going to do is, with a bit of kitchen towel, we're going to take our pot of water, which I've got there, you can see. And then I'm going to paint into one of the petals, and I'm going to flood it with quite a bit of water. I'm all right for there being quite a pool in there. And then what I'm going to do is take some of the red and just, the orange, I beg your pardon, and just drop it in. And look how that's starting to move into that floral, into that petal there. Looks beautiful. Clean my brush, pick up a bit of the lemon tonic, pop that on the end, pick up a little bit of the, oh sorry, that was the orange, I need the dark red. Pick up a little bit of the dark red, pop that in here, and then just let the water do its thing. And what that will do is start to blend those colours all into one to fill in that entire petal on that floral. And it looks like a beautiful watercolour washed effect. The white heat embossed line resists all the ink, creates a reservoir for the water, but allows that to shine through, so you get this lovely kind of silhouette stamped. Let me just make sure I've got the right one there. That's Chinese red. I need a bit more of that because I think I'm going to try and finish this floral so I can send it out to one of you. That would be lovely. because don't forget I'm sending all of my little bits out. Oh, we've got another question. Jan says she is housebound and can't get to crops, but I'm making her day. Jan, I'm so happy to hear that. And you know what? Don't forget, our Fiona's here tomorrow. Debbie was here on Tuesday. I'm back next week with the Tri-Blend. We're going to be coming a lot and doing lots of these educational, inspirational things. That makes my little heart sing with gladness. I'm really pleased that you're enjoying it, Jan. And it really is just like having friends around, isn't it? Just all sitting together, having a really nice time, playing with the product, seeing what they can do, having a look at a few techniques, learning a few things along the way. Most importantly, having fun and a little bit of a laugh, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So I've put some more of that. I need some more yellow. Put some more yellow down. Right, got that. And then just continue all the way around your floral. So paint the water onto your petal first. Make sure it's nice and wet. Pick up a little bit of your orange, remember. Drop that in and look how it moves in the water instantly. All I'm doing is dab. I'm not painting. I'm not being clever. I'm just dabbing the water in. And then I pick up a little bit of the yellow, dab that on the end. It mixes itself together. Pick up a little bit of that Chinese red down the bottom, and these petals start to paint themselves. This is the really good thing. Now look, my water's dirty now, but it's not the end of the world. So I've got another pot here I'm going to swap over. I'm taking that out because I don't want the dirty water. Clean water. Flood the petal. Let's try and do 2 at a time. Speed it up. Bit of the orange. Dabbing it in. Look how quick and easy this is. And that white heat emboss is just resisting it. Then take a little bit of the yellow, pop that on the end, painting itself as we go along. Bit of that lovely red, pop that in at the base, and they all start to mix in together effortlessly. So again, clean water, or cleanish. Paint that onto the petal. Pick up my orange, dab it in. So see, you can even do more than one petal at a time if you want to. Dab it all in, pick up the yellow on the end, pick up my red, pop that in at the base. So I'm using 3 different colours, an orange, a yellow and a red, and look how lovely that's coming together. And this, guys, is called the wet into wet technique. Really easy to do. I could even speed it up on this one. See, I've got mucky water again. You keep your water nice and clean at home, and you'll get a better result. But do you know what? This is fine to show you the technique. Then we're going to pick up the orange, drop it in. So you can even do it quickly. You don't even have to take the time I did with one petal if you don't want to. You can absolutely just get your colour in there. Go with the red, pop that in at the end. Here. Get a little bit of the yellow. In here, and that starts to paint those 2 colours of flowers up lovely. Clean my mat, and then if I wanted to, I can add a little bit of extra dimension around those, a little bit of extra shade, by getting some more of that blue ink onto my mat, getting a flat brush this time, pick that up, and I can bring a little bit of that in and around. Make sure you use plenty of water, and that'll move, and that's how you're going to get your shade around the images. So you see, I'm just zigzagging it in to the floral, zigzagging it into the background, and I'll get that lovely washed watercolour effect. And that's how you're going to build up your top. Lovely, actually, if you've got your clear sparkle pen, put a little bit of clear sparkle pen down before you do this, and you'll get a lovely sparkle in the background as well. So how quick and easy is it to do that topper? What was that, 2 minutes? We've got another minute with your heat embossing maybe. When you make that into a card, this is what you can expect them to look like. So there's the same colour that I've just used there, and that's what it looks like when it's made into a card. A little bit of green on there, I didn't have any foliage, but that's the kind of result you can achieve. And then look what it's like when you do the purple. Different again, but looks gorgeous. And then here's one with a magnolia with lovely soft pinks and lemons. So lots of different ways you can use them, lots of different results, but look how quick and easy it was to achieve. Very, very simple. So that's getting sent out to somebody as well. Right, Have we got time for one more technique? Am I allowed? Boom, I'm doing it. I don't, if the switch is off, so I'm just going to say how much I love you and I've enjoyed my time here with you, because I think probably, you know, when it's going to go, like on a horror movie, and the camera just goes off, because it'll be like, is that woman ever going to shut up? Just let's switch her off. So if I get switched off, it was really nice having the time with you. If I don't, let's have a look at this next technique. Right, so these are our 3D stencils, and just before I go into showing you how these work, remember that we've got that little link down there. So follow the little link. All of the things that I'm using today are in that link. My top tips, if you haven't got them yet, you'll be able to get them following that little link. All of the things that I think you need to get really good results with the ink pads. I've just had a thought. I promised that lady that I'd show you the quick dry with the Harmony. I'll do that. So I've got 2 more things to show you. Never mind. Follow the little link. Fill in your details. What you're going to get is an email which gives you a link to exclusive tutorial content with me, showing you how to use all of these fantastic products. And it's so you can fast forward it, you can rewind it, you can use it time and again, you can watch it in the middle of the night, you can watch it at the beginning of the day, you don't have to wait for this live event to do it. And you're going to get a voucher code to use on your next purchase with Crafters Companion for some money off. And it's worthwhile having. It's not like 2% or a fiver. It's a good amount. So follow through, fill the details in, and you'll get that little voucher as well. Now I'm thinking, do I show you these stencils? Because I've showed you these so many times before. Or do I show you the quick dry alongside it? I think I want to show you the quick dry alongside. I want to do that instead. I'm mixing it up, guys. I'm changing it. Change as we go along. I want to ask my crafty fairy if she's got a pattern stencil of some description, like a textured background or a swirl or a pebble, just anything that's going to give me a little bit of dimension. She's gone looking. She's looking a bit puzzled. I haven't got high hopes, but we'll see what she's amazing. See what she manages to cook up in a cauldron while she's out there. I've let it away. She's not really a fairy. Just cooking in a cauldron. Right, so let's use some of my favourite colours again. We're going to use Lemon Tonic because I've got them out and they're ready, and why not if they're your favourites? Shucks. Get a bit of kitchen towel and colour this card up. And then what I'm going to do is show you how the Harmony and the quick dry work together. So this is a Harmony background I'm creating now. And I'm just using it with my blending tool. So I'm doing exactly as you've already seen me do before, just getting the colour on here. You can see that there. Lovely. And I put a little bit more down here. If the crafty fairy can't find a stencil, she can come back, because I can make do and mend with some other things, because I probably did challenge her a little bit hard with that one. And now I've got my pink, so just getting the background ready, and then I'm going to get the same 3 colours from my quick dry and show you what I'm going to do, how they can work together. So let's build this up here. And that's lovely. Oh, she's amazing. There's nothing my crafty fairy can't do. Look at that. That's what I wanted. Oh, I love her. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Seek and thee shall find. She waves her magic wand and everything happens. It's fabulous. Right, so I'm going to do pink. Actually, I'm just going to put more pink up here because I got it in the wrong place. Oh. But look, did you see what I did there? I popped my blending tool down with the pink on top of the yellow because I wasn't watching what I was doing, and then thought, oh, that doesn't look very good, but I've just been able to blend it out and blend over it, and it still looks great. So this is the thing, if you make little mistakes like that at home because you get distracted easily, like I do, then it's not the end of the world, and you can absolutely fix it. Right, I'm just needing another little thing. Where have they gone? Oh gosh, they're right there in front of us. There they are. Where are they? Right there beside you, Leann. And then pick up the blue. Pick up the blue. Let's blend this in. I'm not going to take too long to make it too perfect, because I just want to show you how they work together. And they'll work together in a couple of different ways, which I think is really exciting as well. So let's just get that blended through the middle here. So I've used my parakeet, I've used my fuchsia, and I've used my lemon tonic. Okay. And I've got a lovely blended background. That'll do for now. Now then, what I'm going to do is just reach over here to get my lemon tonic, to get my yellow of my quick dry, my pink of my quick dry, and it doesn't look like I've got the blue. So I'll go purple instead, because purple will work nice. So I've got a purple blend picking up in here, so purple's fine. Now then, you can see the difference between your quick dry. Let me just show you. You can see the difference. Oh, Kirsten loves the Crafty Fairy. Whoop whoop! Kirsten, we all love the Crafty Fairy. She's amazing. And we're absolutely going to get a photograph of her one of these days with our wings and our tiara so you can see how amazing she is and our wand. So you can see here the difference between your Harmony Water Reactive and your Harmony Quick Dry Dye is that this one's got the little blending tool on, so you can see it's water reactive and it says water reactive. This one's got a layered flower, so you can see that that's going to be the quick dry. But more importantly, look, different colour cases. One's purple, one's black. So when you've got them all in your storage, you will absolutely know, pick this up and you get your water reactive, pick this up and you get your quick dry dye. We've made it very easy for you to identify them. Right, so now I'm going to get a little stamp. So on my rocker block, let's get this nice butterfly that I had before and let's go in with my fuchsia quick dry dye. So what I've got here, what I've done is a Harmony Water Reactive background that you can see there. Now I've got this fab butterfly and I've got my quick dry dye, my purple padded case here, and I'm going to add the same, and it's the same colour. You're seeing that it was fuchsia, exactly the same colour in the two ink pads that I've used. Now I'm going to stamp my butterfly over the top of the fuchsia in the quick dry dye. Oh, ooh, look, pretty. And so you can build up the colours to get loads of lovely dimension. I'm just going to clean that because I want to show you as well that you can do it with the other colour, with the yellow, and you'll still be able to see it. That's because this is the Harmony Water Reactive is very, very translucent and blendable, and it has a long open time, so it doesn't dry quickly. Your quick dry dye does what it says on the tin. It dries very quickly, so you get lovely crisp images stamped with it, which means you get this lovely thicker dimension, but the colours all match. So that's why this colour layered on top of its same colour in Harmony still stands out. So you can start to get lots of lovely layering techniques happening now. If I go with my lemon tonic, which is this colour here, lemon tonic in the quick dry dye, same colour that I used in the Harmony. I'll just show you so you know I'm telling you the truth. There we go, two of the same. Quick speeding on because I just know that the powers that be are going to chuck us out very soon. Let's stamp this over here. Ooh, look! Oh, how fabulous! The Crafty Fairy's beside herself. How fabulous is that? It looks amazing, doesn't it? So that's how you can stamp and layer over with the same colours in your quick dry dye, and that's not moving anywhere because it won't fall bleach. It's the quick dry dye. So next thing we could do with our stencil, and I'll just do it on this half here so you can see. And with our stencil this time we'll use the purple and the quick dry dye. This is the mid-tone. What I could do now is I could go in straight away just over the top of it, and if I do that I'm going to do it up in the corner here. I'll get really really fabulous dense colour. How amazing is that? If I wanted a little bit smoother, I need to line that up against, this is my OCD coming back in, right? If I want to get it a little bit smoother, what I can do is just pick a little bit up on my foam pad and then come through and splodge it through my stencil, and I get more detailed application, but it's really, really beautiful, dense colour. Look at this. And I'll just build it up a little bit in the corner so you can see the difference, but how it's going to be intense. And then you're still going to have your Harmony in the background. How that colours, oh my word, la la la. Which lady asked us about this? Thank goodness for you. Shunter, thank goodness for you, you marvellous woman. Look how fabulous that is. I need another colour. I need to keep going. This is where I'm definitely excited, look. Excitable, even probably. Let's get this bad boy in here. Orange. Let's get a bit of orange down here. Oh, people, you need to be doing this. I'm excited. Doesn't take much, but I'm having a nice time and I'm excited. Let's get a little bit of this down here. Oh, yes. This is going to look amazing. Oh, look. So this is how your quick dry dye and your harmony will work together in harmony to get these beautiful results. How amazing is that? I feel like the angels need to be coming down, the heavens need to open. This is just fantastic. Then what you can do, because your harmony will fall bleach, your quick dry not so much, put a little bit of that on, mop that away. Oh, so you can just layer these up. You can have a fabulous time. You can do your layering stamping if you want to, or you can just use them all together for your backgrounds. How beautiful is that? I'm going to send that out to somebody as well so you can make a nice card with it. So I'm going to be sending out this, oh, shall I hold them up for you? I'll hold them up for you. Here we go. We've got this, 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 this. You might not want this, but I'll send it. This, you might not want it, but I'll send it. And this, and then I'm also going to send you, where is it? Come to me, you little beauty, here it is. This. And I'm going to sign it for you. Okay, so I'm going to send all those pieces out to somebody. I've had a fabulous time. I've gone half an hour over my allotted amount. But before I go, first thing I need to say to you is, remember the little link down there. Follow the little link. It's got all of my favourites in, all of the things that I've been using during the course of this last 2 hours. Don't tell anybody. This last 2 hours. And then if you do follow that link and you put in your details, we're going to send you an email with a link to some exclusive content in there. All with me teaching you how to get the best out of your ink pads, and you're going to have a great time. It's exclusive to you. We're also going to send you a voucher code so that you can get some money off the next time you shop with Crafter's Companion. So follow the link down there, leave your details, we'll get that out to you, and you'll get a nice voucher with some money off on the next time you shop. Who doesn't like money off when you shop? Right. Have a little look at some of the last things that you've got to say to me, and then, oh, where have they gone? And then we'll pick a winner for all of me little bits. Thank you, Leann. I love all your tutorials. Thank you for staying with me and joining me. I feel so proud and privileged when I can see all of how many people of you are watching and how many people have stayed with me through the course of this 2 hours. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that, because it's just wonderful to know that you've enjoyed it. You've really enjoyed seeing how the ink pads work, that hopefully you've learned something and you're going to be able to apply it yourselves at home and have a really lovely time. So thank you very much for staying with me. Jennifer says, great, thank you. Bonnie, thank you, enjoyed it. You're very, very welcome, Bonnie. It's been an amazing, Laurie says, it's been an amazing life. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Now, so Catherine Harper says, now I know why I need both water and quick dry pads. Yes, you do, Catherine. And the reason is that it's fabulous, fabulous. That one there. There you go. Right. So there we are. All of you saying you've been having a really nice time. Do you know what? I've thoroughly enjoyed being here with you. I need to do this more often. It's just like having the best crafty fun with your friends. What I am going to do is go right back to the beginning. And I'm going to scroll and then stop. And we're going to see who I stop on. Who's that? Let me turn that around. I'm not moving my finger, Linda McCarty-Callos. It's coming out to you. Linda McCarty-Callos, surname spelled C-A-L-U-S, my crafty fairy who's writing that down so that we get the right person. Thank you very much, Linda, for watching and joining in. You're going to get all of my little bits to make some cards and a signed card from me. I've had the most amazing time. Don't forget to go and click on your link, leave your details, get your free exclusive video content from me teaching you how to use your ink pads, get your money off voucher for the next time you shop with Crafter's Companion, and don't forget to tune in with our Fiona tomorrow at 1 p.m. She's going to be showing you the brand new fabulous Nature Garden peony collection, and she's going to make you a 3D peony by popular request. Fabulous time. Please have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you back next week with the Tri-Blend pens. Take care. Bye.